Well, I guess we could call that another fruitless night, huh?
It sounds like something Harold used to say. It's just like everything else. It'll start to be a drag.
What?
Vice work. Jesus. What a way to make a living.
Yeah. Did you feel embarrassed at all about the whole peeping Tom thing we were doing?
Yeah, Christ, yes.
Yeah.
That's bad enough I see the shit on the streets. I'm having to go in the restrooms to look for more.
Yeah, well, there's worse jobs than Vice, though.
What, for instance?
Juvenile?
Oh, yeah. I always wonder what made you leave so soon.
I didn't like it.
Well, I don't think I like juvenile either. It was bad enough working for adults without the crap from bubblegummers. Ugh.
Yeah, but there's some dangerous little ones running around that you come across over and over again. But you can never get them off the street, you know? Too tender of an age. Despite the fact that they're more predatory and they don't have that adult inhibition. But I could handle that stuff, you know. It was the other things that really got to me, you know. The children as victims.
Can't let it bother you. Oh, they must water these drinks. Ah, well, price is right.
Yeah, well, you expect the real treacherous cases, you know, the child molesters that just love to tie up the little girls and hear them scream. Or my first day in court, there was this 4-year-old. She started crying when the foster mother's boyfriend walks in. Policeman leans in my ear and says, "Now he stuck it in her. Now she's got gonorrhea." But it was the other stuff that really got to me, you know, like just what an unfit home can really mean. You've got like a broken toilet that's just overflowing with human excrement, just all over the floor. Little kitten running through that, jumping up on a table, running across the dirty dishes. There's little brown footprints across these fucking dishes that are never going to get washed.
Okay. Can't we change the subject here? Because I literally smelled enough shit for one day, all right?
How about like a little 9-year-old boy that's now got to be a man? So he does his best to wash his filthy little brother and sister as best as he can, but he accidentally scalds a little infant to death.
Baxter.
What was something as simple as a little bike theft, huh? I mean, have you ever seen anything as sad as one little broken bicycle split up between a family of 8 children?
That kind of thing doesn't faze me, Baxter. You know that? I only have 2 words of advice for guys like you, like Harold Bloomgard. Change jobs. If you can't face the fact that the world is a garbage dump, you just jump off the City Hall tower. Christ, I didn't have any bikes when I was growing up, broken or not. My brother and I made a tetherball out of a bag of rags, and I tied it to a street sign. That's the only toy I remember. Hey, Baxter, you can't save the world.
Well, you see, that's just it. I thought that I could. I thought that I could save the world of, like, just a specific child that I was dealing with. I would try so hard to get these children out of the environment that they were in and put them into a foster home. But every time they would just run back to that degradation. I can remember this one child that I had placed in a foster home. Turns out that the foster mother was abusing her. So I had to go arrest that foster mother and pull that child out of the home that I had placed her in.
So what?
So she had these strange marks on her stomach. these cuts that hadn't quite healed. And she was 3 years old. She wouldn't even talk to me, and she got hysterical when the policewoman tried to talk to her too. But I eventually found out what those marks were. They were letters. LBD. It turns out that those were initials of the foster mother's boyfriend. She carved them into this little girl's skin with a paring knife. Now I placed that little girl in the foster home. I tried to save the world of that little girl. I was the worst juvenile officer that department has ever seen.
Listen, Baxter, we have crime in direct proportion to freedom. Lots of freedom, lots of crime. All I know for sure is something that I believe my whole life. It was verified for me in Vietnam and certified my 4.5 years of being a cop, is that people are never more pathetic when they're asking themselves that absurd, ridiculous, laughable question. Who am I? Hey, if most people let themselves find an answer to that question, they'll run into the toilet to slash their wrists. Because they're nothing. The sooner you understand that, the sooner you can do police work without torturing yourself.
Yeah, but see, that's it. That's why I'm bringing this up to you. Now, I try to talk with my partner, and Sperm Whale doesn't even want to talk about this. He's more busy bitching about his ex-wife's payments. You know, after I left that juvenile detail, I started getting these flashes. They started coming in the middle of the night. And just for a second, I got a glimpse of what it was like not to be. Just for life to go on by without me. And it happened when I was like half asleep, you know? And it really started up after I shot that man. Can you relate to any of that?
I wish some Ross would come in here. I wish the drinks were so watered down.